Hello and welcome back to Ben and Mike's Film Room, and we just watched Black Panther.
Yeah, we did.
or
Actually,
at least,
just watched.
or at least I did,
Hey,
because you fell asleep multiple times.
I am tired, but I still remember this movie being good.
Me too, and I told you to sit up.
I sat up none times, but I did have a good
I
time.
am right in these things. Remember when I told you about going to the electronics section to check out your food and snacks at Walmart instead of the regular lines?
That is, talk about a life hack right there. At the electronics section, just buy your stuff. Then you don't have to wait in any lines. Nobody ever uses that place.
I mean, don't be rude about it. Don't bring.
Be very rude.
Don't bring an entire cart full of food.
I mean, our whole store became a self-checkout, so
Yeah, basically.
bring the whole cart.
Yeah, yeah. But yes, this movie.
That aside,
Yes.
this movie,
Wait a minute, weren't we on the way to see Black Panther on that day?
I don't remember that.
We went to see a movie.
It was definitely to see Black Panther. That's how the memory will be from now on.
Yes, that is our memory. And
What else do you remember about this movie?
I remember some drama, but we won't talk about that here.
Drama.
It was fake news.
It was just fake news.
But I remember this is kind of when we started seeing movies together.
Yes, it's true. I think. We watched Thor Ragnarok together.
No, we did not. We went to different screenings.
Oh.
I went with Dad.
Well, never mind. Then yes, this was the movie. One before Infinity War.
Yes, and that kind of changed it with Ant-Man, but I eventually saw it with you, Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, you did.
And the Wasp.
Well,
we'll get there.
yes.
We'll get there. Oh, sorry, I moved. Mike. So,
everything's ruined. Do it all again.
So yeah, let's summarize this
Movie.
Yes, we didn't edit anything out.
No.
No, we aren't. This is the first time we've ever broken character.
Ever.
Okay, bring up the notes, Ben.
Notes. Here are notes. Read them.
So it recaps Civil War and said that T'Challa's dad died. Then there's a ceremony for him to become king. He fights Man-Ape in the comics, which is a very racist thing if they were to do the whole costume. That's why they just went with a mask. They eventually find Gollum in South Korea, and then the Black Panther chases him and gives him to Bilbo Watson. This seems too silly.
It's not too silly.
Okay, Bilbo Watson.
That's who it is, Dr. Bilbo Watson. That's his name in the show.
Yes, it is. Dr. Bilbo Watson. Then Killmonger comes to free him and then later kills him.
That he doesn't just free him by killing him. Yes. Although he totally could have done that. I don't see what the benefit is.
What did he say? He said, "I pardon you from life."
Oh, that's what...
Ragnarok. Goldblum.
That's what... Yes, I'm trying to remember what his name is. Grand Master. Yeah.
Yes. So,
it's my birthday!
It's my birthday! I can't do it right.
Nailed it.
I think I'm kind of sick too.
So yeah, Killmonger
kills them in a different location.
Takes the bod.
Yes, and takes the bod to the border tribe, and they see oh, this guy killed him. He's also one of us because he has the lippy lip.
He's got the lippy lip, which is a tattoo.
We're
pretty sure. Say it once.
They do,
but it's hinted. It's really kind of just snuck in. So
yeah,
not quite sure. Is it vibranium?
Yeah.
Do vibranium tattoos hurt?
Probably. All tattoos hurt.
I don't know.
Except temporary ones.
Maybe it's a temporary vibranium tattoo.
Killmonger goes to Wakanda to challenge T'Challa for the throne so that he can free all of the oppressed people through the violence.
The violence.
The violencing. Oh man.
T'Challa loses the challenge and falls into the water.
And then gets to snow.
Things happen, but he's not there.
Yes.
T'Challa is healed, and
oh yeah,
He falls into water, but then he's magically packed in ice.
Yes, and then but before,
with minutes left to live.
But before that, Killmonger, he has the whole heart-shaped herb plants burned. I think
except for the one, she steals one.
Yes, the white
Nokia.
The white dread. Yes, Nokia, the white dreads lady.
That's not the white dreads lady. The mom is the white dreads lady.
That is the mother.
I thought Nokia was the one who stole it. Was the mom who took it?
The mom is the one with the white dreads.
I know that. I'm just saying, did she take the thing or did Nokia?
You know what? White hair would stand out, so I'm gonna say Nokia did it.
Yeah, she's also a spy. That's like her whole thing.
Anyway,
moving on.
So then he falls into water. Then he goes to the magic land. I'm very tired, people.
Yeah, the plane.
The magical
ancestral plane.
The magical bath plane.
It's a very dirty bath. You're always in dirt or something, or snow in
dirt or snow.
But you have to be covered up.
And long and short of it,
you're buried if you.
Him, T'Challa, and Killmonger. That racist? I'm sorry. That was not intentional. They fight. The guy with Kill in his name dies. Ironic, is it not?
That's not his actual name.
It is his name.
But
then they reveal Wakanda to the world because we can help people.
I think they can. Yeah. So at the end, they do what the bad guy wants.
Oh, because he had some. Okay, so now we can actually get into the movie. That's
I think
he kind of had a point though. He's where were you when we were being enslaved? That's really more like what he's saying.
Well, I mean, that's a very valid question.
But you made the point of where were you in World War II?
There was even fighting in Africa. I mean, it was the north of Africa, but
also
they clearly could have just said nope and just stopped all that. I mean, of course,
maybe they didn't like the Jews either.
Really? You're gonna say Wakandans are anti-Semitic?
They were the only one with telephones. They couldn't contact anyone.
Their whole thing is that they were afraid that people would ruin and adulterate their culture if they were to assimilate into the world.
I think I understand.
But
because M'Baku, he was very upset when your head of science is led by a child or something, and she disrespects tradition.
Yes.
So
she does disrespect tradition.
Yes.
She was just mocking the event literally seconds before.
Yes. And she has. Does she have Instagram? Is there Wakandan Instagram?
I don't know.
Is Instagram still a thing, or that Snapchat that's dead? I don't know. I never use social media. And so anyway, that is the question I have. Do they have their own internet?
Why would they have their own internet? What do you mean?
Separate from the rest of the world. They clearly don't order things from Amazon.
They make all their own stuff. They don't interact with anyone in the outside world.
What about football?
What about football?
What about T-shirts?
T-shirts? They make
What about anime, Ben?
Golem said. Like Golem said, they weave vibranium into their clothes. Ben? Why would anyone want that? Loot boxes are the worst.
They make money.
Well, yeah, because they're dumb.
But yeah, she does disrespect tradition, so maybe. So what they fear is basically, they don't acknowledge it with her because she's a part of, she's in Wakanda. She's Wakandan, So maybe they tolerate it. So maybe they tolerate her because she's one of them as a Wakandan, and they say in the movie that they don't want anyone they don't want to reveal themselves to the world because why again? I literally forgot. You did just say it.
Well, I did. That their culture, their way of life would be destroyed. Although Nokia Not Nokia?
Probably, who cares?
I just keep remembering the phone. She said that Wakanda is strong enough to help, is to retain their culture and help others. She kind of made the first point, and then everyone gave Killmonger the credit.
I think she said, we have enough power to defend ourselves and help others. You know? Because stuff.
Because stuff. I mean, they are pretty powerful.
Yes, they are the strongest.
Okay.
But do they have free speech? What are their gun laws?
What? Do they even need guns if you have a spear that can blow up a tank?
What are their spear laws?
I don't know. What are their system of government at all? It sounds like it's just absolute monarchy.
I mean, probably.
I mean, there is like some kind of tribe agreement thing going on with the 4 tribes.
Well, that's sort of like the what is it? Like the two part. What's it in America where they have 2 people per state representing?
Senators?
Yes, they have. That's kind of. They fulfill the same role, I think. Maybe. So, you know.
Okay, well, let's talk about cool stuff. I really liked the suit. I think the Black Panther suit was cool in that they changed it up with the purple and the gold and that stuff. That was cool.
Yes.
I like how the clothes, like, dust off when they transform into the outfit.
It's very similar to Iron Man in Infinity War suit, kind of nanotech.
Yeah, it is. Well, in this one, they claim it fits in the necklace.
Yes, which, you know...
So that's a thing.
I mean, it's a pretty thin necklace.
Well, how much vibranium do you need?
Enough to cover yourself. Even if it was like as thin as paper, it would take up more room than that.
You're probably right.
And, like, what else? There was another thing. Oh, yeah. What's her name? Sherry. She's kind of like the Q to...
totally.
To Black Panther's Bond. Because, like, she makes the sneakers, which I totally expected when I first saw this, that they would come back.
Yeah, you don't just make a gadget and never use it.
Well, I mean... Like, I've said this before, but maybe you're just listening to the first time. I don't really care for the Bond movies, but I've seen it parodied in multiple times, and in those things they don't. Here's this watch that also doubles as a hot cocoa machine.
Whatever the gadgets they give you will only be used in this one run, but boy, they matter.
Yes.
Like, what are the name of the little... The goober.
The goober.
What are they called?
The beads.
The beads. They do everything. The beads do everything.
Yes. You can put them in bullet wounds.
You put them in bullet wounds. They send video signals. You have
to use 2 different people's hands to make the hologram.
That was in that one case. It's so smart that when you put them together, it says, "Oh, this is the same thing." So let's just share the signal.
Do they have their own iPhones?
They don't need iPhones. They got the beads. They got the goobers. So, other things I really liked was Killmonger as a character. He was very nuanced and interesting, and he made some good points, and he was really complex. And
I don't think they were good points.
I thought he made really good points.
Yes, let's give let's. What did he say? He says let's give every single black person a gun. They will want to do this, and overthrow everyone that doesn't look like us. That's not racism.
Well, that's why it's not absolutely perfect. You don't give the weapons just to anyone who wants to instigate war, but oppressed people who can be set free should be free. What did you say?
Unless they're the king.
So in this case, like, if all the people who are being oppressed could have freedom, and you had the ability to grant them freedom, aren't you kind of keeping them oppressed by not freeing them? And that's why America is a global power.
And that's why it's the greatest country in the world.
It's a policing nation, even though everyone understands that nobody likes it.
Yeah, because that's what... Like, if you didn't know, that's why our military is so big. We have to be other countries' military.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
I mean, the presence of... I mean, clearly this is a movie about America as well. Like, all the points are very America-focused. Like, that they have the technology vibranium, which can benefit everyone. They have these giant military force that could quickly override the world, is what the argument was. So it's kind of your responsibility as a superpower to help those oppressed persons.
Like a superhero, if you would.
Exactly, like all superheroes are responsible for saving people just because they have powers. So I think the concept alone carried a lot of the movie. Is you're super interested in thinking about it while they're doing all this cool action stuff, so you have something to chew on with your brain, and also something to ogle at with your eyeballs.
Yeah, and I won't make this political at all. I'm just saying that this movie has, like, Killmonger he has political motivation in a way, social.
He wants the social justice to be brought by force from Wakanda.
Yes, it's very much he's definitely a Malcolm X type of thing, isn't it?
Well, Malcolm X was very much an isolationist, to my knowledge. I'm not an expert on this at all.
All I know is that in, like, the X-Men, that is a common thing to compare Xavier to Magneto, in the sense that, this one is a pacifist, this one is through violence. And that's all I know about Malcolm X, is that
I know about Malcolm X is X-Men.
Is that he is from World War II and not I'm giving up on this.
Okay, well, we'll leave it in, but...
I'm just saying, this movie has a message.
It's really interesting, though. Like, T'Challa's message is that we're going to protect our own nation, but we're also strong enough to reach out and support others. And so at first he said, no, it's wrong that you don't help those other places that you have the power to. And he turns over that leaf that pretty much only comes because of Killmonger, even though Nokia was totally talking about that whole thing at the very start. She plants the seed and everyone's like, yeah, that's right. And then they all say, never mind, let's move on. And then Killmonger brings it up and they said, yeah, that's a really good idea. I've never heard that before. Wow, such a good idea.
Yes, those were words.
That's what it feels like.
Yes. So yes, Killmonger, he really is the first villain that you can understand his motivation.
Whoa, take it easy.
Okay, okay, bad phrasing. Sympathize. Like, you can understand why, like he's better than the bad guy in Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah, he's more complicated, but I would have to say...
Is he better than Ego? As a villain.
Oh, Ego's the weirdest villain ever.
Okay, never mind. Scratch that. Spider-Man Homecoming, I think, is the first.
Vulture, well, in honesty, everything in Phase 3 has a reasonable villain. All the villains are reasonable.
Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them have a reasonable backstory and are decently motivated.
She just...
Magician Man, he saw the hypocrisy of the Ancient One.
Caecilius.
Yeah, Chrysalis. He saw the hypocrisy of the Ancient One, and so he said, no, as a matter of fact, I'm going all in onto the Dormammu thing. Ego, he's an eternal being, and so when you live that long, you get all weird. Yeah, I'm on board, sure.
So it seems like all the villains just seems to take their motivation to the extreme. Is that just how villains work?
It's frequently. I mean, most of these villains don't feel like they're... You can tell from their perspective they are not evil. I mean, maybe Ego, if I was going to pick somebody who thought they were evil.
No,
maybe
I don't. No, he sees us as, like, mayflies.
Exactly, you're nothing.
Yeah, it's like, we're born, we mate, we die. That's all he sees.
And Killmonger sees a huge opportunity to free everyone in the world. And of course you can't not take that.
Well, specifically 2 billion people, he says.
Well, yeah, that's a huge amount of people.
Yes, but
who are oppressed. Not every person is oppressed.
Yes.
If they were all oppressed, then aren't they all equally free? They all have the same level of freedom?
No, someone is oppressing them if they are all oppressed.
Yeah, so at least one person has to be free. The one oppressing.
Yes. Anyway.
Yes.
Other cool things?
I guess.
Yeah.
Is there other cool things?
Yeah. The big fight, the Civil War part.
That's not this movie.
Black Panther Civil War at the end.
Yes, literally the Civil War.
It's a civil war. It's like with 200 people, but it's a civil war.
Yeah. Yes, the part where they're all using these short swords and clanging against Black Panther in his suit that can absorb kinetic energy. I'm so concerned over his well-being.
Well, I don't know why they don't just shoot him with the tank spears. They have tank spears. They talk about them. Everyone knows they have them. I don't get it.
Are there any weapons in Infinity War that they use that they don't use here? Off the top of your head?
Not that I remember. I really remember the shields.
Yes.
It was really, I was just waiting around to see the other heroes come in at that point. So I don't really remember it.
All I remember is that, like, the giant, like the kind of, I'm gonna call it a flying boat that carried them over to, like, the edge of the shield or something. Also in
the boat.
It's like a hovercraft thing that has a bunch of people on it, a bunch of warriors on it. In Infinity War.
Oh, okay, I'm tracking.
Yeah.
The big wheelie thing?
No, that's the bad guy.
The digging wheelie?
That's the other. That's bad guys.
I thought we were talking about bad guys.
No, I'm talking about Wakandan's technology and weapons.
Their Bugatti spaceship.
Yes. Why is it? What is Bugatti?
It's a really fancy car.
Okay.
No, I forgot that was the brand. Anyway.
So yeah, that was cool. Okay, a concept that I just find it interesting is that, like, at the beginning, it gives us, like, this Lord of the Rings-esque info dump, which it has to do.
It was really cool. I liked the animation style, like they were using the vibranium technology to describe it.
It looked more like, I don't know, that magnetic dust. Like
that you put on the clown to make it look like it has hair.
I want to say yes.
But that's the kind of tech they use when they're looking at the caravan of cars with Nokia in it.
Yeah, it looks.
And they pick up the car, and he swipes his hand, and he can see.
It looks like it's made out of everyone that was dusted.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe they all turn into vibranium.
Not...
Groot.
Poor baby Groot, teenage Groot, whatever age of Groot.
Okay. And it's like. And then we go down into this mine, and it's like, how big was this thing? How big was this meteor, asteroid, or whatever it was? Like,
it must have been the mountain.
The mountain that the Jabari, the Umbaka tribe.
The whole thing.
I don't know how true that is.
Well, Gollum says that they've been mining it for a thousand years and they've barely scratched the surface.
Okay.
Now, of course, he's not the most reliable of sources here, but they say they put in vibranium in everything, and if vibranium's the key ingredient to everything they do, then
well, it's like, okay, do we know how big the comet meteor that killed the dinosaurs were, roughly?
Gulf of Mexico. I think it made the hole.
Yes, it did, but how big was that?
I don't know.
Was it bigger than Mount Everest?
The size of Texas?
Oh my goodness.
It was the size of Texas. I don't even know anymore. I think they all just turned to birds.
Is, like,
how big was the meteor? Kill the dinosaurs. Thank you, Google. 6 miles across.
Okay, that... I know this because of the movie 2012. Mount Everest is 5 miles high.
So it's bigger than Mount Everest.
Yes.
Tall.
Now, they don't explicitly say, they don't at all say how big this meteor that crashed into Wakanda was, because whatever.
Well, it also integrated with the plants.
Yeah, it affected the plant life, because that's what metal does.
Well, my thing is, if it affected the plant life, why did it only impact this special flower from the god Bast? Bast?
The Panther goddess Bast.
Bast. So if it only affected the single flower, why do they have the pictures of it going up into the trees and stuff? What does it do? And why is it so weak to sound? Is that why it's called vibranium? Who named it vibranium? They didn't name it vibranium, but they call it vibranium. They call it Impfer.
They call it vibranium.
Well, they call it vibranium, but their people didn't call it vibranium. They called it
I can almost guarantee
the Great Gift, which is another thing from Gollum. It's in the movie.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, they give it a different name. It's called vibranium because it's weak to sound.
It's weak to sound.
Yeah, that's why the wobbly train fight works.
Yeah, that's not sound. It's weak to vibration, which is not...
Sound is vibration? Look at these little waves. We're recording this thing. Those are waves. Vibrations.
Yes, but that doesn't... Okay, but vibration isn't exclusive to sound.
But sound is exclusively vibration.
Yes, but guess what? That's not...
Venn diagram.
Okay, whatever. This movie doesn't have the greatest CGI.
It's true. There's a couple of scenes where you're
there are some pretty sketchy spots.
Well, they have a lot of CGI, and you kind of have to pick and choose what looks good, and clearly they chose Black Panthers will look good. And sometimes you're going to look like you're on a green screen. Like, during the ritual fightings, all the people on the walls, boy, do they look like they're just glued in place.
Yes. And...
Are we in the bad section already?
What time are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can. It's fine.
It's like the thing is, like, this movie is fairly straightforward, you know?
It's true. It's a redemption arc.
Yeah, it's not... Redemption?
Yeah, for the people of Wakanda.
Okay.
Because he starts as this ritual ceremony, you see him become the king, he has the potential to lose it up, but he doesn't. But eventually Killmonger comes in, takes the throne, he redeems himself and comes back and wins. Likewise, his people redeem themselves from their inexcusable actions of not helping everyone by helping everyone at the end.
Yes.
That's a redemption story.
Yeah, I guess. It's just when I think redemption story, I usually think of an individual character. You know, that's usually what that term is associated with. Not like, oh, the entire country of Wakanda has been redeemed for their absence.
Maybe T'Chaka then. So T'Challa and T'Chaka's redemption story with a dash of Killmonger, who has a cool name. It's like.
It's like N'Jababa.
I liked M'Baku the most. He was my favorite side character, far and away.
Yeah,
like when he's like, I don't know what the thing is when he's like grunting or hooting,
barking. It sounded like barking.
Yeah, he's like barking at Dr. Bilbo Watson. It was just really funny. I just had a good time. He was like, yeah, show him. He can't talk here. What are you doing here?
Yeah, and that's another thing because I remember in theaters like. I will not sacrifice my tribe for you or something, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be exactly like the elves from Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers.
Oh man, the elves! You mean from the Hobbit movies?
No.
When they roll in with the moose at the end?
I didn't watch that movie.
You didn't watch that movie?
Nope.
No,
Ben, no. No.
Next time.
Okay, then we'll watch the extended editions.
None of the Hobbit movies, they suck.
You're the one that planted that seed.
It's true. But once you turn the top, you can't just stop it.
Yes. So, yeah, that's all I have. I only have the extended. So, yeah.
Anything else that's bad? So CGI takes a dip sometimes. Anything else? I think that's really it.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, there's
what are those?
Okay. When I saw that, I thought it was genuinely funny. Not because of, like, what are those? That's a funny joke. And, like, oh, I get the meme. That's funny because it's a meme.
Did they make it a meme?
No, they didn't. That was the point.
But did they?
No.
What if years before?
No.
They had...
Yes, they wrote it years ago. Anyway, the reason I thought it was so funny at the time was because it was so absurd and ridiculous that a Marvel movie had a meme in it. Like, purposefully, like, oh, this is a meme from, like, we didn't make. You know? Like,
yeah, so I have to agree with you what you said earlier. You're like, wait, do they have the internet?
Yes, exactly.
Well, of course they do.
Well, also, even if you, like, say this is, like, 20 years down the line, you're watching this movie, you're like, what are those? It's like, you won't necessarily get the joke, but guess what? It doesn't have to be a joke then. It can just be like, why are you wearing those?
Yeah, it still has utility, even though it is a meme in this day and age.
Yes. So, I think in
I mean, it's not like she yeeted the shoes.
Yes, yes.
She just takes them off, she's like, yeet!
She would have yoted it.
They would have been Jotun to Jotunheim.
Yeet it to Jotunheim.
There it is.
That's so stupid. That is a slur on their planet.
And actually, they throw everything in Jotunheim. It's offensive not to.
Yes.
Must be yeeted. Must be yoked across the table. Please yote the icicles, because that's all they eat. I don't know what ice giants eat. I assume ice.
Bilge Snipe?
Bilge Snipe. Oh, the big thing with the horns.
Yeah.
I think we saw a corpse of one in Sakaar. They hinted at it.
Oh yeah,
that she
Valkyrie,
leans into. And
I don't think it was a Bilge Snipe. I just think it was just some random animal.
Oh,
but who throws away an animal?
Well, it just dies.
Yeah, because they roam the fields of garbage.
It's the garbage plant. Anyway, so other bad things. I don't have too many, except for the fact that the Wakanda symbol, where you cross your arms and let it go, is like the override of the power for Mr. Bilbo Watson when he's flying that ship.
No,
that was really dorky.
I think it's more of an EMP blast.
Yeah, but it's still really dorky. Just the fact that they do it. You're like, wait, to fly this plane, I have this extra option.
No, continue.
Okay.
I will not cough.
Just almost coughed. So to fly this plane, I had this extra knockout option where I can cross my arms, taking my hands off of the controls.
They do not have controls. She said, I made it American for you. They just hold their arms out.
It's true, but they're using their hands to control the thing. You're missing the most amazing of dances. It's just great. Well,
it can't be accurately described. Don't even try.
There's no words. So, I don't know. I just felt like it was a little cheese, but it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. I mean, there are very few things that I didn't like about the movie. I think, in honesty, the movie is such a mental exercise. It's like, it's like reading a philosophy book or something.
Yeah. Also, I can't be 100% sure, but I think excluding Avengers movies, like off the top of my head, this was the first solo movie in the solo Marvel movie to get $1 billion. Off the top of my head, I don't know how true that is, but because that Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Guardians 1, I'm talking about like first entrances. Yeah. Yeah, Thor Ragnarok doesn't count. I don't think that got $1 billion even. Close, probably made it.
Not internationally?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no way. I'm sorry, I'm looking it up. Box office.
Ragnarok? Or Marvel?
I save it, obviously.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at Shazam. It hasn't done very well. I mean, it does okay. Okay, so we're looking up which one first? Thor?
Yeah. Also, do you know how much... Oh, that's that big. Do you know how much Shazam cost to make?
No.
80.
$80 million.
Yes.
Well, that explains some things.
What?
There's CGI.
Yeah, fine. How much?
So it looks like Thor Ragnarok made $315 million worldwide.
That doesn't seem accurate.
Nope, it doesn't. But that's box office alone. Black Panther made $700 million.
This is domestic. Ooh,
that makes way more sense. So I'm gonna.
But that's insane! This made double!
That is the
Ragnarok.
domestic gross. Oh, it also made 646 million internationally, so...
Which is over...
1.3 billion. So
yeah.
Thor Take 2, in which I click on the actual link, it made a total of not quite $1 billion. Oh.
About $850 million. What a pity.
What a pity.
Those are pennies for Disney.
Oh, it's not. That's a lot of money.
I know. But, like...
But they did very well for themselves, and...
Which, Black Panther made more domestically than Infinity War.
Domestically, yes. Well, it just... Because Infinity War is the Marvel movie fan feature. Like, it's built for fans. Whereas Black Panther, you could just come right in and be like, I'm okay with this.
Okay,
I don't have to know where Gollum lost his arm.
Okay,
I don't need to know.
Like, the thing is, Infinity War is the next movie you're watching.
Yeah.
And I am so pumped for that.
Oh, man.
But I will say this. I would say, say you found a person who'd never seen a Marvel movie, I feel you could show them Infinity War on its own, and I'm not saying it would make 100% sense, but they explain things fairly well.
It's true. They do a pretty good job. I mean, the movie is so much better if you've seen the others, though. Which is one of the reasons it's far and away the best Marvel movie so far.
Yeah, personally, I think...
It also is really rewatchable. Yeah,
also Black Panther... we didn't comment on this at all when we watched the movie, but it's very standalone.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's not quite as standalone as, like, Doctor Strange or those kind of movies where they, like, set the universe up at the same time. But this one kind of assumes you understand the T'Challa
if there was,
balance with the loss of life and things like that.
Yeah, because, like, if this movie came out, like, looking how the CGI does now, let's just say this movie came out, like, 10 years ago, before MCU, I think it would have, like, no one would have known, you know?
That it's a part of
a bigger universe.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's no connections that are obvious. They don't mention the Avengers, they don't... I mean, other than the end credit scene, there's zero connection. And that only makes sense if you saw the other end credit scene from the end of Civil War. So,
which why wouldn't you?
Well, they technically do reference it in movie when they fix up Dr. Bilbo Watson,
but it's a one-line thing.
It is. So that
But yeah. So eggs.
So dumb.
I will make egg hats.
What, is that a hat that looks like an egg, or does it just have an egg on it?
Why not both?
So it's gonna have a picture of an egg and look like an egg?
It's gonna be embossed with like some black outlining of the other egg.
Okay. I'm excited.
Check that out.
It'll be a Pope. It'll look like a Pope hat.
Who wants a Pope hat? No one's gonna wear a Pope hat. Well, of course the Pope wants a Pope hat. Who else is gonna wear a Pope hat? Anyway. Moving on, let's get into
can you find the Pope in the pizza?
So, something I want to talk
SNL bit.
So, something I want to talk about is the implications that led nowhere for this movie.
Right.
So, if Infinity War wasn't the next movie in the series, this movie would have changed the Marvel Universe more than any other in the whole series because of the ending. Right at the very end, they say, hey, we're going to give out our technology, this and that. Infinity War happens immediately afterwards, so you don't get to see any repercussions, but think about how insane it would get if Iron Man had a vibranium suit.
Touché. Yeah.
Or if everyone in the world, like villains and heroes alike, have access to vibranium powers. Like the arms race is going to skyrocket into space. If it wasn't for Infinity War, which cut it right off at the pass.
Yeah, and now with Endgame, which as of this moment we have not seen because it's not out yet.
12 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
3 hours.
And 2 minutes.
Yes.
I will not forget those 2 minutes.
Never. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is that, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, the impact could have been amazing, but realistically, it's getting swept under the rug.
Oh yeah, is that
right now?
Oh,
because they're doing other movies.
Because in Endgame, from the footage we've seen in trailers and such, is that like the world had like gone to crap. Basically, everything like there's boats piled up around the Statue of Liberty. We got like abandoned baseball stadium.
No baseball.
No baseball. Baseball is not all the.
There's
baseball...
not enough people for a team.
Yep, all the baseball people died.
Every baseball team has under 9 players.
Yes.
Because then you can't even make a team. They're all sad.
Yes.
They just cry.
Oh my goodness.
Every golf ball cut in half. Why is that alive?
Golf ball lives. They live.
We'll get into that next time.
We just saw Tiger Woods
win the Masters.
Yeah.
Man, it's been 22 years.
I don't care about golf. I remember
being that little guy. Anyway.
I don't care about golf, but that was entertaining.
So, reviews.
So, overall, I enjoy it. I don't think I'm gonna rewatch it alone, like, anytime soon.
Okay.
Like, I would only watch it with, like, a group of people, or you, or...
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever watch this again. Not again, I mean for a marathon such as we are doing.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing a marathon like this ever again.
Yeah, I really don't think so.
It's exhausting. But...
Well, you're a 30-year-old man.
So old.
So old in this dirt. I'm older than the dirt. I'm already have 1 foot in the grave.
I remember before the dirt.
I remember before the MCU.
It was just rocks.
It was just X-Men and Spider-Man.
Just always keep starting over Spider-Man again and again.
It was awful. But only 2 movies were good.
Are there anything?
That means.
Okay. Yeah, you keep putting the.
I'm trying to move the notes out of the way.
You're keeping the notes in the way, and that's what making us.
She likes to see the wiggles.
Yes. Wiggle. So yeah, overall, like I said, I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the colors. I enjoyed seeing, granted, a fictionalized version. Shut up.
Sounds like you said virgin.
Fictional virgins.
You frickin' freaks!
You frickin' freaks! And your frickin' fantasies!
When will you learn?
When will you? I can't do it at all. Curse my Adam's apple.
Anyway.
My Adam apple.
Well, I think last time we said it's too obscure of a reference, but here we are just continually referencing it.
No, we were referencing something else. I'm saying, like, it's too loud. It's too loud.
It is.
So
let's get your review here.
Yes, what I'm trying to say is
maybe on a scale of 10.
I enjoyed watching the movie. I would probably give it a, like, I won't lie, I didn't fall in love with this movie. I found it tremendously entertaining. I love Michael B. Jordan. I love, what's his name? Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sad we never made a Pink Panther joke about this being...
Boy, did we miss the whole boat! Oh, man! It's the best movie in the trilogy, though.
Yes, it is. Man, totally missed out.
Like, Pink Panther 2, Black Panther. Best movie in the trilogy.
If they don't...
of course, we mean the Steve Martin Pink Panthers.
Yes.
Not the original old stuff that's, like, weird and...
We only really care about the first Pink Panther movie. We don't really.
The one was no good either.
I've only seen the second one once, I think.
Oh, you never need to see it.
Okay, let me speed through this.
So not rewatchable, really, without a crowd, without a group.
Yeah, personally, maybe it's just because, like, one, the movie is taken more serious. It does not have as many of the Marvel isms. It doesn't have. Like, the only one that has, like, quips is Shuri.
It's true. She's the only funny one. Everyone's super serious.
And M'Baku.
That's true. Because, I mean, he's vegetarian.
Yes. So, yeah, I'd give this a 8.5 out of 10. Ooh. 8.5 Wakanadas, I believe this place is called.
The Wakanadas. Man. You know, I only would appreciate that if I had watched it in a marathon. Mm-hmm. Because I never remembered that. Watching it for the first time, I never would have thought, oh, I remember that from Age of Ultron when they set up the Wakanda stuff. They talk about Wakanada, they go to Johannesburg, they see
Ulysses Claw. They
see Mr. Claw and his removal of his claw.
Not Mr. Claw. That's...
I'll get you, Gadget. Mr.
Gadget. So Gadget's cat now.
No, when you...
I'm a cat, meow.
No, I'm saying like at the end of this... Anyway.
I didn't watch the cartoon.
That's what I referenced.
I only watched the French Stewart film.
I'm sorry. Isn't that Inspector Gadget 2?
It is!
Oh, man. You gotta at least watch the Matthew Broderick one, the first one.
I have seen it since, but that was the first time I ever saw the Inspector Gadget. We should do a marathon
awful.
That.
No! Spare me.
Okay.
So, I never would have appreciated that without the marathon, so I'm very grateful. Me personally, I'm going to give this movie 9 out of 10 riding rhinoceros, mostly because...
Don't you mean war rhinos?
War rhinos.
It's a better thing.
It's a great movie, super fun to watch, a lot to chew on. It's not perfect because you don't have the budget to put everything in CGI. You can't make everything beautiful. So... that's what's holding it back from being that movie. But spoilers, I'm probably going to give a 10 to Infinity War. Yeah. It's just, I've seen that movie also, 6 times as many times as I've seen this one. I've watched this one 3 times, and I've watched that one 10 times already.
I'll say it here, and I'll say it again when we get to Infinity War. I saw Infinity War 4 times in theaters.
Man, the only movie I've seen that many times in theaters is... Avatar. James Cameron Avatar. Really? I saw it 4 times in theaters. Yeah, my wife loved the visuals.
I might break that record with Endgame, though. Who knows?
Well, we'll see. I mean, who knows?
Granted, I didn't pay for the first 2 viewings.
In honesty, the hype for Infinity War was so high that I was ready for really anything, and boy, did they deliver. And right now, Endgame, because of Infinity War... is so catastrophically high that I'm nervous they're just gonna screw the whole thing up and everything will fall apart at the very end.
I mean, we don't know. All we know is that, oh my goodness, this is being...
We're gonna talk about it next time.
The thing is, we're going to watch Infinity War, and then we're going to record on a separate day, because that one will be at least an hour and a half.
And that one's gonna get all the speculation and all the fun. We're probably gonna throw some more on top of Ant-Man and the Wasp, because that movie is kind of...
Yeah.
It's kind of like, hey, here is a movie while you wait for Endgame.
While you wait for Captain Marvel.
Which is true, but it's still waiting for Endgame.
Yes. So, with that being said, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
That's it.
So please join us next time as we continue on this road to Endgame. And also, subscribe.
And smash the like button.
No, you can subscribe on SoundCloud/iTunes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye.